Greetings, everybody. Keith here. Hoping everybody's having a good day, enjoying life, living life, loving life. Want to remind everybody, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. There is a PayPal link down there for anybody that wants to share some love. Every little bit is appreciated. It's always helpful. And today we're going to do some reviewing of some videos as they relate to the First Amendment and its 5 parts. So we've got, obviously, police videos, and we're going to find out if these policemen have any kind of intelligence at all when it comes to the Constitution that they took an oath to uphold. The first ones I've got are a couple shorts that I want to take a look at real quick to show you, let's see here, where you can do it and what it is you can do. So those down in chat, feel free to say hi. The StreamYard link is down there for anybody who wants to join the panel. And let's get into it. This is from People's Court Audit. And this is a tax for recording in public and get owned and dismissed. Oops.
Sounds like you need to leave the property or we're going to take you to jail.
This is poster 7.
Let's talk outside.
But this is the rule.
Come on. There you go.
That's the rules and regulations.
See, they put their hands on him and removed him from a public forum, which he had every right to be in. And the reason they took him is because he was exercising his First Amendment right. And the poster he was talking about was the poster 7 in the post offices that explicitly state that you can take photography and pictures and stuff.
Relations saying I can't record, sir. Can we get a supervisor out here, please?
You need to leave.
This is public property.
No,
That's
it's
a
not.
lot of
This is private business. I know it says United States Postal Service, but it's actually a private.
Listen real quick, sir.
You refuse.
Is the United States Post Office a private business, folks?
To leave now?
Doing a protected activity.
No,
First Amendment,
no.
freedom of the press. This is freedom of the
You've
press.
been told to leave. You refuse to leave. You got a supervisor around.
I'm Sergeant Durner. To actually have a poster 7 saying that photos and photography may be taken. He actually grabbed me and pulled me out the office, not even letting me show him the rules and regulations on postal property. You can record all you want. We can't keep you from going.
What? You can record all you want. Listen to what he says next.
Back in there now once we leave. Do you want to provide us your information?
And he pulled me out the office, not even letting me show him the regulations on postal property.
All you want. We can't keep you from going back in. Record all you want. We can't keep you from going back in there now once we leave. Just record all you want. We can't keep you from going back in there now once we leave. Do you want to provide us your information?
It's only fair since you got all our information.
You're public.
See, they know they can't stop him from going back in, yet instead of just leaving, they want to keep pushing the issue. They're going to try to escalate, and this is why they turn around and well, we want your ID. No, I don't care. That's not the premise of this altercation, is what I would call it. Certainly physical assault.
You're a public servant. I'm private.
Back on sidewalk.
He said I can go back in there.
You're back on the sidewalk. No, you have no ability to give him a directive anymore. You've already disproven your ability to do so. He's done nothing wrong. You have no way or reason to give him a lawful order to get back on the sidewalk.
He said I can go back in there. Damn, look at I'm private.
Back on sidewalk.
He said I can go back in there. Damn, I'm private.
Back on sidewalk.
He said I can go back in there. Damn, look at this dude.
Sounds like you.
So this is the society we live in, and it's because people won't stand up like this gentleman did. We need more people like that. But the only way we get that way is by understanding that First Amendment ourselves. So as I've explained before, There are elements in the First Amendment that people don't realize because they don't know how to read either between the lines or outside of the box to understand what is being said without being said. Much like the Ninth Amendment and the powers of the people that are not so enumerated in the Constitution are therefore unbound. So what that's saying is you have a right to make an amendment to that Constitution, people. So let's take a look at the next one. That was to what you can do, and that's the recording in public. They can't do anything about it. And this here is a guy that's recording in public for his own safety because he is also doing something else in public that you shouldn't be ashamed of admitting, and that is called soliciting. It depends on exactly what you are soliciting. So pay attention in the recording of what you're doing. It's not necessarily just First Amendment audits that you're recording. But while you're in that recording of your own thing and somebody tries to interrupt you, now you get to express your First Amendment rights. And if they do so, you don't necessarily have to be respectful. They're the ones interfering with you. I don't suggest you go flippant and get all disrespectful. I suggest that the best way to do it is with good candor. But there are reasons and limitations that you can push. And that's what I appreciate. So I'm not saying not to, but I am saying certainly have your own sense of boundaries and present moment discernment. Know who you're dealing with, be able to tell what their personality is like by their demeanor and everything as they communicate with you. As you see several different officers in an interaction, you might see one that's off to the side, totally different. He's probably the sergeant.
Look, I'm telling you, stay in your car and get going. You're making a fool of yourself. Before you make a fool of yourself and do something stupid, get back in your car and go on your way.
You don't tell me what to do.
I do.
You understand me? You do not.
Get back in your car and go. Stand on a public sidewalk, engage in constitutionally protected activity. Soliciting is a constitutionally protected activity. Your ordinance cannot override the Constitution. I'm putting... Get your boy and get him out of here, please, before he makes a mistake and gets himself in trouble.
Hey, did you not tell me to shut up and get out of here?
Shut up and get out of here. I just did it again. Shut up, my life.
Did you not tell me to shut up and get out of here?
Shut up and get out of here. I just did it again. Shut up, my life. Get out of here.
That's not the way this works.
Shut up.
Did you not tell me to shut up and get out of here?
Shut up and get out of here. I just did it again. Shut up, my life. Get out of here.
That's not the way this works.
Shut up. Every time you come out in public in the United States of America to exercise free speech on a public right-of-way on a public sidewalk, this is what you get every time. And yes, I am soliciting. I am soliciting goodwill and compassion for the homeless vets.
So soliciting, you can solicit a message, and that's what he's doing. He's exercising his First Amendment right by freely expressing his message.
Deputy Chair of the Sheriff's Office.
Yeah, I'm Jeff. How you doing?
Or you have money or
I'm soliciting goodwill and compassion for the homeless vets by saying God bless homeless veterans.
okay. Just wanted to check on you, man.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you.
See? Sergeant knows what's going on. It's no big deal. Okay, good deal. Have a good day. It's all of the other hyenas around, the lowlifes. And he's only doing it because he's in front of somebody that actually knows it. If he approaches and he finds out that the guy is babbling and doesn't really know what he's talking about, he might push it and have him arrested. That's why I say watch your candor and demeanor yourself in relations to your respects. So let's take a look at this video. I've got 3 of them lined up, and the first one is the one I want to concentrate on here. This is from Fake Mike Real News. Fake Mike Real News. So let me drop that in the chat for everybody. Go over and check him out. Hit that sub. And let's see what he has to say, because like I said, there's the 5 parts in the First Amendment of the Constitution. You have your freedom of association, which most people relate to that freedom of religion. You have freedom of speech. Freedom of the press is the ability to express oneself. And in order to do that, you must first be able to make a record. In order to be able to make a record, you must first be able to observe. And just like the modern conveniences that are brought about under the Second Amendment to right to bear arms, we're no longer bearing rocks and sticks. We're bearing implements that project little mobile pellets at a high rate of speed that will tear a person apart. Today, we don't holler across a valley. We even have something much better than the Morse code. And then came radio and then TV. And now we have these video devices that we can take with us in our pockets and record every second of our life. And that's our right to do so in order to then be able to use the rest of the First Amendment of freedom of expression to tell others about it. See, it's my right to express, but it's everybody else's. Exponentially is how it empowers me to say what I say, because it's everybody else's right to know. So let's get into it.
That's what I thought.
They let him go with just a.
I know you want. You're in the car, the van, the SUV. What's so funny?
Good job, huh?
That's what I thought.
They let him go with just a.
I know you won't say that to my face.
Nice job, guys.
What's going on,
They're
brother?
laughing at me. Not you.
Why are you so close to me? Why you come up behind me like that?
I was checking on the cops.
But why did you have to do that right behind me, though?
You didn't even understand that.
I know, but why did you decide to do that? It's kind of creepy. Because I know if I did that, you'd be screaming officer safety. So I can come up right behind you and follow you around?
You can. I just probably asked you the same questions you're asking me.
Fair enough. That would I get? But I'd get arrested for officer safety.
No, you can't get arrested for officer safety. That's not the thing.
Well, it's happened many times. Maybe not here.
Arrested. Your charge was officer safety.
Yes. No, not me. Not me personally. Not me personally. Cool.
Yeah, you were videotaping them, so I was
Yeah.
making sure that they were doing the
Do you
right
remember me?
thing. I don't.
So I a
Maybe
couple.
help me if
Yep.
you
No,
show
I'm
me.
not going to do that. But
All right, whatever.
so about a year or two ago,
Yeah.
I asked you if you knew the 5 parts of the First
At Wells
Amendment.
Ave?
Yes.
I do remember you.
Do you remember Did you learn the 5 parts of the First Amendment?
The 5 parts of the First
Yep.
Amendment? I don't know. I don't want to give you false.
The 5 parts of the First Amendment, if you look at the thumbnail, that's your religion, your freedom of speech, your right to assemble, your right to redress the government for grievance. What else was there? You got freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, right to assemble, and peacefully, of course, and petition redress. So let's see what this officer knows. And this is a guy that spoke to him, like he's saying here, a couple of years prior to it on the First Amendment or the Constitution. And the guy went 2 years and still doesn't know.
Circumstances, and then you're going to put me on.
Well, either way, this is a checkup, regardless, right? Whether you give me false or right answers. Just a guess, right? I've traveled this entire country.
Yeah.
I've asked thousands of police officers if they could tell me the First Amendment. What percentage?
The freedom of speech, religion.
That's 2. That's 2.
Religion, speech, assembly.
Yep. Okay.
Religion, speech, assembly. Order to the organ. Not the assembly. Speech, assembly, gather. Yeah. What did you school me on this?
Yeah. No. Honestly, you got 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
No officer in this entire country, I've asked thousands.
I've got 5 out of 5.
Has even got
None.
the first art. What do you think that says about the state of police in this country? That
I think
they
that
don't
we
even
can
know.
always be better, but that we've progressed quite a bit.
So you think you're good, you're better,
Oh, 100%.
even though you don't know the first article of your job.
I did. I know the freedom of speech, and you know what? Sometimes you don't know it by word, but you know.
Yeah, but don't you think
the
it's
practicality in action?
Yeah, but don't you think it's important to
I can't
know?
believe you remember me from up there on that. What was that?
Your video went pretty viral because
Did I?
you gave me a sneaky middle finger and
No.
and
Where's
you
the
did
video? 'Cause
you
I'd
did
like to see that.
Yeah, you can check it out. And then
What is your YouTube
that
thing?
other lady cop, she was acting so rude, and that's why that's the initial views.
What do you put it on?
I put it on a whole bunch of platforms.
How do I?
Okay, I'll tell you, man. Let me answer my questions. I don't have a card. I'll tell you what my channel is. I have business cards, but who uses business cards? This is the 25th century, bro. Nobody uses paper anymore.
I still do.
Well, yeah, you have to. You know what I'm saying? All right. This is my point, right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you where you can find.
Go ahead.
You guys take a sacred oath before God and your countrymen, and countless American men, women, and children have given blood, sweat, and tears.
Hey, videotape this.
I'm going to.
I'm down here every day. Hey, tell them what you think.
Okay, and I would generally agree with that concept, of course, with religion, assembly, press, and speech. But the protest part there, Bad Barney, is wrong, and that's the viewpoint that you take at it, is that you have to protest. No, it says redress, and that's a specific term, folks, redress, because something was created in a trade dress first. That's the enumeration of birth. It creates a trade dress, and it needs to be redressed. That's the resurrection in a new name. People don't understand this stuff. You've been indoctrinated into paying tribute to a false patriarch and believe you have the right to protest when it clearly says right to redress the government. And protest is a different form. It's a physical act of assembly in peace. So your assembly is being mixed up with protest, and your protest is being mixed up with redress. See, protest is part of the assembly part, where you gather up in people, in a group of people, and peacefully protest in that assembly of people. And then the petition to redress the government is, like Barney says now, is the under speech. Okay, you're going to use diplomatic etiquette and write them a private notice. Hey, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, and clarify things. This is a declaratory statement.
I love these guys. I pray for them every day.
Bootlicker.
Why? Because we do the right thing.
They do the right thing. They're outgunned, brother. They're outgunned.
They're outgunned. Really? They're being supplied with military equipment. I don't know any gangs or any violent criminals that are actually being supplied military equipment except the gangs of Southern America.
What if I told you something? What if I told you something? Respect. Could I tell you something? Could I tell you something? What if I told you that according to a 50-year study of police's own data, they only solve 2% of major crimes? What if I told you, according to not one but two studies, police? I let you talk. I let you talk.
I don't know where the bus. I'm the police. Sorry. Hey, over.
You've always got a drink in your hand. That's one thing I appreciate. You stay hydrated. Some people were saying, yeah, but some people were saying on the last thing you might be a little tipsy. Is it Irish coffee?
No, I don't smell it.
How much have you had to drink today?
Alcohol?
Alcohol, of course.
I haven't drank in 2 days.
Okay. What's your drink?
Scotch.
Scotch. That's fair. I respect that about you, man. This is the only point I'm trying to convey to you, right? Is that you guys take a sacred oath on the backs of people that have died, given bloodshed and tears, so that we could even have a constitution. And the fact that you guys don't even know the constitution.
No, I think we do. Most cops do.
Okay.
I think we do. Most cops do. Yet none have been able to successfully answer a third grade question of what are the 5 parts of the Constitution. Religion, speech, press, assembly, and redress or petition to redress.
know?
Okay, well, the
And they
thing
know
is,
what's right and wrong and how to protect people's rights because they're out here doing it every day. As you can see by this gentleman who's out here every day. I've never seen
Sure.
you down here before.
Yeah.
He's down here every day dealing with us, and he has no problems. He
all
gets
right,
his fist bumps
true,
and
but
gives us
I'm gonna,
accolades.
that's fine, but he doesn't.
I mean, I'm probably giving you more than I views than I probably should be.
No,
giving
you're
you right
not.
now, anyway.
Like literally.
He was talking about the bootlicker that's down there giving him accolades every day and giving him fist bumps, saying they're doing a great job, and he's praying for them. The guy that doesn't know the law is sitting there babbling out his mouth. They're outgunned. Really?
I've confronted Hillary Clinton about Jeffrey Epstein before the news even knew who Epstein was. I walked right past Secret Service. I've confronted Biden, Trump, all these fools. Kamala Harris.
His honesty, though, should be another factor that should scare you either way. You know, whether he's being dishonest or he's being honest in this situation. The fact is they took an oath to a constitution that they do not know. For crying out loud. How do you support and uphold something you don't know?
Police are low level, but it's important. Here's what I'm trying to convey to you. You dishonor the Constitution every single day.
Absolutely.
Remember back in the day with Prohibition, they had to get a constitutional amendment to outlaw alcohol, right? They never did that with the war on drugs. Every time you arrest somebody for the war on drugs or possession of any narcotic, that's unconstitutional. Single day. Here's how. Remember back in the day, it's important. Here's what I'm trying to convey to you. You dishonor the Constitution every single day. Here's how. Remember back in the day with Prohibition, they had to get a constitutional amendment to outlaw alcohol, right? They never did that with the war on drugs. Every time you arrest somebody for the war on drugs or possession of any narcotic, that's unconstitutional. It's important. Here's what I'm trying to convey to you. You dishonor the Constitution every single day. Here's how. Remember back in the day with Prohibition, they had to get a constitutional amendment to outlaw alcohol, right? They never did that with the war on drugs. Every time you arrest somebody for the war on drugs or possession of any narcotic, that's unconstitutional. Same thing with the Second Amendment. Shall not be infringed. You guys, if it's unregistered, unlicensed, if ghost gun, now if it's a stolen gun, that's a different story because that's someone's personal property. But you guys defile the Constitution every single day. And then on top of that, what you do is you're supposed to protect my Fourth Amendment to privacy and to be secure in my person's papers. But yet even people, no matter what, you guys are trained to ask for your ID and subvert my Fourth Amendment. So you don't know the First Amendment, you violate the Second Amendment, you don't know the Third Amendment, you violate the Fourth Amendment, you guys violate the Fifth and Sixth Amendments, right? And then on top of it, yeah.
You see how that works, folks? Right on down the line.
Stop and frisk, DUI checkpoints, right? All of it. You guys.
I mean, you're preaching to the choir. I do this.
You're preaching to the choir. He knows this. He's one of those Hitler's willing executioners. He's been empowered by a police state to not give a fuck and just let the authorities that are telling him what to do keep telling him what to do as long as they keep paying him. Pathetic. And this guy's been on the force for a number of years, I assure you.
Every day, you got to preach above me. Maybe you can.
No. The thing is, this is what I'll leave you on. The thing is, when you raised your hand and took that oath, that was also.
You got to preach above me. That's the same thing as I'm just doing my job. I'm just Hitler's willing executioner. You got to go talk to Hitler.
With the implications that you will protect the Constitution and disobey illegal orders. That's why there's checks and balances. You guys are responsible. Like during when the events of 2020 hit, certain police officers said, no, this is unconstitutional. We're not doing that. And certain departments didn't. Because it's up to you guys not to just blindly follow what the law orders say. They could say, hey, go start catching slaves.
He was talking about the mask mandates and stuff during that pandemic.
Again, or go start having this. It's up to you guys to uphold the Constitution. Your name and badge number, sir?
Potter. It's right here.
I know. I hate when you guys say that. You would never say that to a judge, though. Have the same respect for me as you have the judge.
Because they already have it.
But they still ask it for the record, though.
Yeah, Potter 32.
A judge would never ask that because they already have it. No, they still ask for it for the record, don't they? Oh, yeah. See, they can't help but saying shit right off the tip of their tongue without giving a flying fuck whether it's a lie, and they get caught in it and have to retract it immediately. They just don't give a fuck.
Thank you very
Same
much,
thing
Potter.
that the last one we did.
You can find me on YouTube at Fake Mike MIC
Mike.
Real News. Check me out at Fake Mike Real News. I'm gonna check up on you again, and I hope
Be here every day.
Well,
maybe I'll get those two other. What are they?
you're gonna have. I can't give you all. I can't do all for you. I would. They give away pocket constitutions. They give away.
I actually have one of my.
Good.
cars.
So you should learn it.
All right.
You should learn. All right, man.
Mike.
Fake Mike Real News.
Real News. All right.
Now, notice after that long interview there of 5 minutes or so, the other officer turned around and pulled up again. So it doesn't matter. They're always in communication and cahoots together. As like we've been expressing, if you watch yesterday's video, the courts authorize all of this. They're the ones that they're going to for the authority, and they all are in it together. Every last one of them for a big paycheck. And understand, these people get paid 100, 150, sometimes 200, 250, $300,000 a year. That's on the front end. That's not including all the hush money, racketeering, RICO money going into their private retirement funds and stuff one way or another, somehow. Yes. Yes, like we expressed yesterday. So let's take a look at the next video. The next one I got here is People's Court Audit. We saw a short from him just prior. And let me get that pulled up. And drop the link here in the chat so everybody can go check him out. Be sure to hit him up and sub. Oops. Somehow there it is. My chat lagged, and sorry about the duplication then. Dirty cops are even known to steal the parking meter money from a town or city. I can imagine. I can imagine. Yep. It's the administrative state. Statist, I see. Statist, I see. That's the statistical element. Bureau of Vital Statistics, an administrative record. So let's look into it. This says cops addicted to ID get owned and dismissed. No crime, no ID, walk of shame, First Amendment.
Feelings, but get completely destroyed by. Welcome back to the channel, and this time we have two interactions where the police tries to violate civilians' rights and enforce their feelings, but get completely destroyed by citizens who know the law better than the police. But first, remember to like the video and let me know in the comments if you think these officers are ignorant of the law or if they are just tyrants.
Rabbit?
How you doing, sir?
Hey, how are you?
What's going on? This area is only authorized.
Oh, I'm sorry. I gotta go that way?
You can't be back here in the vehicles.
Which way in?
Do you have ID on you?
Why would I need that? Did I do a crime?
Well, you're in an area here. It's only authorized for police.
Okay, I'll leave.
Okay. Well, what are you doing back here, sir?
I was looking for the door.
Look for what?
The door.
Okay. You got ID on you?
Why would I need ID?
Sir, I'm asking you for ID.
For what reason?
Okay, 'cause I need to know why you're back here, why the vehicles, filming license plates.
Well, if you're talking about trespass warning, you warned me and I left. I'm leaving.
Yeah, right. There's actually a sign right there. It says it's only for authorized persons only. And on this side over here, you going behind the vehicles and filming people's vehicles. Okay, that's concerning.
I wasn't filming anybody's vehicle.
I just watched you from the window here.
No, I was narrating my video, trying to find the door to the police department.
Okay, well, I'm gonna just need your name now. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Can I get ID for you, please?
Did I commit a crime in the
Sir,
Commonwealth of Pennsylvania?
Like I said, okay, I'm stopping you now because somebody back there recording our vehicles. Okay,
I didn't record your. I wasn't recording your vehicles.
That's how it appears. Okay.
That's how it appears. But you have no evidence to it. Let alone, like the gentleman said, You gave him a warning. Trespass requires a warning first. He gave him the warning. He said immediately, okay, I'll leave. Now they're trying to escalate it because that was just too easy. We can't let him get away. He was almost in our grasp. We didn't get to assault him yet.
Yes.
Where's that?
On the other side.
Can you show it to me?
Can you grab me your ID, please?
Can you show me the sign first? For legal reasons. For my lawyer.
Can I please get your ID, sir?
No, thanks.
How about your name? Date of birth.
You can call me good citizen.
Okay.
That didn't do anything wrong.
Okay.
You told me I wasn't allowed back there. I came back. I lied.
Why are you back there in the first place?
I was trying to find the entrance of the building.
But you were recording your vehicles.
I wasn't recording your vehicles. That's a narrative that you're spinning on this. I was recording while I was trying to find the entrance of the building.
Is it okay if I record the vehicle?
I personally not like him going around the outside of my vehicle looking at it and recording the vehicle. That's what it appeared to me. That's all I got to say.
Your personal vehicle back there?
Yes.
I didn't even know that until you just said that.
Okay. All right. Well, do me a favor then, guys. I'm going to tell you right now, this area is off limits. I don't want you to return back there. Okay?
That's all you have to do.
Okay. Please leave now.
That's all you have to do.
Are you here for any other reason?
Yes, we want to get a complaint for him.
What's that?
We need an IA complaint.
Okay, well, I'll need your name to get you.
No.
Yeah. See, he keeps trying it again. No. See, you can make a complaint anonymously. And they keep insisting that, no, we have to know your name. No, you don't. Nowhere does it say you have to know the name. It specifically states in every jurisdiction, in any internal affairs complaint, that it can be made anonymous.
Go ahead.
Is that an arbitrary rule that says you're not allowed past this way? Because I don't see any.
Are you done here?
There is no lawful sign.
Do you have a place before?
Signs that say statute of the signs that say we're not allowed to go past this point.
difficult to figure out.
First of all, can
On
we
the
do
other
that?
side.
Not difficult to figure out, no. Even with a sign, you have to have it fenced off. Otherwise, it's known as public access. See, it's just like you go into a building and you can record in the public view, but you can't go into personnel spaces because that's not public access. Those doors are closed. There's a barrier.
Let's go see what this sign is. We're invited to see the sign. These officers invited us to see the sign.
Says stop. Do not enter. Police vehicles only.
That's a vehicle. We're not parking here. We're not parking. We're not parking here. I think this guy looks familiar. I don't know where I met. I've seen this guy somewhere before.
What my concern is not whether or not you're paying. For all reasons, there could be lawful reasons for that. And maybe he was lost. However, when I saw him recording our vehicles, it was racist.
So is this publicly funded? Not by the county.
All right, guys. If you don't have a complaint, we're gonna leave.
Did any of us park there where the police vehicles can park only?
We're not done. We're done. We're trying to
I was just asking if you had a complaint. You don't have a complaint.
I need a complaint form so I can take this is public property. This is what we establish. You can't put that sign out and say that we're not allowed past it.
And this guy has a temper. This guy has a temper. Where's your commanding officer?
If I don't listen to what you said, what will happen?
Who's your commanding officer? This guy right here? Oh, there it is. Are you corporal? Are you a corporal? What's your name, sir? Please.
All right, guys. You don't have a complaint to have it.
Are you a corporal? What's your name? What's your name?
I need a form right here. I need
You come down.
Well, come on. I don't know what's going on here, but StreamYard's giving me a problem with the YouTube there. Let's give it a minute and see if it'll come back. But otherwise, says, I hate cops. My father was a sarge. Totally douche whistle butt. Before it's worth, he's still my dad. Shame on them. Yep. Do as I say, not as I do. Top kids are the worst. God bless America. God bless the people. You know, that's the thing at the end of my streams when I say I love you, but I don't give a rat's ass about whether you love me back or not. See, it's not the people that I hate. What I hate in this world is the things we say and do to each other. And notice, I don't exclude myself from that. I am not perfect. There are things that I have to repent and ask forgiveness for. And most people aren't willing to do that. They're part of this popularity contest, striving to be the best, keep up with the Joneses and all this, chasing the bag. And it's just not worth it to me, because none of that's the real value. The people are. President Trump says, make America great again. I think we should make a people great again. So let's see if we're back yet. Nope. Let's see if we can go to another video and get it at play.
Description. He does very good work on dealing with law enforcement. Here's the thing. Filming the police is your right. Okay, guys, check out this guy's channel. I'll put the link to it in the description. He does very good work on dealing with law enforcement. Here's the thing. Filming the police is your right.
And this is, I forgot, this is News Now Omaha. News Now Omaha.
It's recommended that you film law enforcement in the United States. Always film the police because it is your First Amendment right to do so. All original links in the description. Filming the police is your right. Consider liking, subscribing, and sharing, as I do my best to add additional commentary and narration under fair use. Adding my commentary, criticism, and information to the video. All original links in the description. I'm out, guys. Peace. Bye-bye now.
What are you doing? Okay, just catching up with some work.
Yeah, doing paperwork.
And I'm going to take a quick break here, too, to announce, please hit that like, share, and subscribe. There is a PayPal link there for anybody who wants to share some love. And the StreamYard link is pinned for anybody who wants to join the panel. This is the last video I've got. Feel free.
Oh, okay, cool. What are y'all up to? Man, I heard about a suspicious activity over here, so I want to make sure to come over here and there was nothing suspicious going on. You have an ID on you? No. You have an ID on you?
I do. I'm not going to give it to you.
Why not?
Because you have no right to look at my ID.
Well, you know,
about my police ID?
I was called out here, and you know, I just want to make sure that there's nothing going on.
Called out here?
Yeah, there was a suspicious person in a gray car sitting in the parking lot, and we just want to make sure that no one gets hurt. So, can I get an ID, please?
What ID do you want?
Whatever ID you have on you, I just need to know who you are. Right now, I don't know who you are right now, so it's just for my safety.
So who called you?
Well, gosh, I don't want to really start name dropping, but
okay.
So here's the thing. When you're dealing with the police, you have to know your rights. Law enforcement can't be trusted. All original links in the description. Filming the police is your right. Get back to the video, guys.
This is great. This is great.
There's my police.
See, that's what we should be doing, folks. Making sure they're doing their job right. And the first part of doing a job right is that diplomatic etiquette. How do we address each other? Can I see the ID to make sure that I'm supposed to be addressing you as sir in your proper uniform?
Oh, sorry.
There you go. What is it?
Can't have it, but I'll show it to you.
Gordon Gray?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Is there a reason why you're here, not in your office working?
Yeah. My bosses tell me they want me to type out here instead of in the office.
Oh, okay, cool. I just want to make sure there was nothing suspicious going on. I'll go ahead and let everybody know that everything's okay, and you can continue to go back doing what you're doing.
I appreciate that. Yep. Thank you. Hey,
Huh? What was I doing in the lobby? I was recording. Does it matter? Yeah, no. Okay, am I being detained? Can I leave?
Okay, you're in a public forum. What are you doing? I'm recording. You were recording in the lobby? Yeah, what does it matter? What does it matter what were you recording? Well, what does it matter what I was recording? See, there's no law that says you can't record this in public or you can't record this in public. It in fact says unambiguously anything in the public view.
Well, if I can't leave, I'm being detained. Yeah. So what crime have I committed?
Our dispatchers wanted us to check you out.
That's not a crime. The dispatcher wanting you to do something is not a crime. Am I being suspicious, or am I being suspicious, or have I committed a crime?
Okay, now there's a displacement of authority as well, because he said the dispatcher wanted you to wanted him to check him out. No, the dispatcher got a call from a Karen, doesn't know the law, wanted to cry and whine about her emotional or his emotional feelings about being recorded in public, because they think you have to ask their permission first. So they called dispatch, and then dispatch sent it out. So in reality, if these dispatchers knew the First Amendment right, being dispatchers, and inherently should be knowing about their freedom of speech and freedom of the press in such a communication system of dispatching, then you would think that they would know how to make the communication proper on both ends, so that when people like that would call in and say, hey, he's video recording me at the post office or wherever. I'm sorry, ma'am, he has every right to do that. Please don't call the police for inconsequential emotions anymore. But no, they don't do that. What do? They send them out every time. How long are we going to put up with this and keep accepting the displacement of where the lie starts, who's responsible, why, and what the truth really is when it comes to the First Amendment, freedom of speech, and telling the truth in any venue?
What's so suspicious about me?
Going into our lobby asking if this is where we kept drugs, going down to the dungeon area.
I didn't go down into the dungeon area. I don't know what the dungeon area is. I don't know what crime you suspected me of, but can you get your manager here?
Always film the police, because it is your First Amendment right to do so. Consider liking, subscribing, and sharing. Get back to the video, guys.
So the true thing is that he was asking about drugs in a facility that may or may not supposed to be having them there or stored in certain ways. So it's now become a possible criminal audit, you know? Oh, we can't have him finding us out. We better call the police on him. He's recording us in public.
Okay, cool.
What's going on, man?
Oh, not much. Hey, how's it going? Are you the manager in charge? Cool. I'm Bao. This young man is saying that I've committed some kind of crime. He's well. Okay, am I being detained?
We're asking you some questions, so technically, yes.
Okay, I'm not going to answer any questions. You guys are more than welcome to speak to my lawyer. I can have him on the
Do you
phone.
have your ID with you, sir?
I don't have my ID on me. Do you need my ID for some reason?
Yes, we do.
What do you need my ID
You
for?
were acting suspiciously in our police department lobby.
What did I do that was suspicious?
Asking questions about
In the police department lobby. That's what I thought.
the drug box.
Was that not the drug box?
It is a drug box.
Okay, so why would asking a question about a box that's in your lobby
Activity
suspicious?
In our lobby was suspicious. We just need your ID. We're gonna make sure you don't have any warrants, and if you don't, you'll be on your way.
First of all, if I committed a crime, I'll be more than glad to help you out however you want. But I haven't committed a crime yet.
You need to identify yourself when we request you to.
Okay, so I'm not, just so you know, I'm not from this.
You need to identify yourself when we request you to. Okay? Understand the language. And this is where I try to explain to people to use your candor. Because when you understand the language used here, yourself, as opposed to, can I see your ID? The individual's name and number identify the record. If they're asking for your ID, then they're asking to identify a record. If they're asking you to identify yourself, that's different. So when they ask me for ID, I simply tell them, I do not have any ID. Then they're going to ask me what my first and last name is. I'm sorry. And those would be creatures of the state. My mom and dad have been calling me Keith all my life. If they get mad at me, they might call me Keith Orland. I hail from the family Little, and I hear I was born around August 20th, 1966. So what happens is the onus probandi of telling the truth falls on them. So that when they put it on their documentation that I gave them a first and last name by writing down, he said he was Keith Little, I never said any such thing. And when he says, and his birth date is August 20th, 1966, I never said anything. I never said any such thing. I said, I hear I was born. So the language is specific in the law. And when it comes to the name and birth date, They want to identify the birth record. You know, the birth record of the United States person that was born in the United States and whose birth was registered in the United States. And there is no birth registration in the United States. So let's get back to it.
Area. So I don't know what the local laws are as far as the stop and ID state.
You should familiarize yourself with them before you argue with me.
You guys are asking me questions, and I want to ask you guys questions first, just to clarify what's going on here. You're not suspecting me of any kind of a crime, right?
Not for sure, no.
Not for sure. So you don't have.
Okay. Bottom line.
Hold on.
Let me talk.
Okay, go ahead. I'll let you talk, and then I'll talk.
You were in our police department lobby.
Sure.
Okay. You have this contraption.
And what is this contraption? If you can describe it to me, it's a mount. I can tell you this. This is a cell phone.
First, be some kind of video.
This is a mount. This is a cell phone. This is a mount that goes. A cell phone goes on.
Can I finish talking?
I'm gonna just let you know what this is first before you start making claims of what I have on me and what I don't. This goes to.
They know it's called a tripod used in the photography and video industries.
A battery pack. Okay. I don't have any weapons on me. There's nothing. I don't have any bad intentions. I'm gonna let you guys know up front. So as far as the rest of it, if you guys are not suspecting me of a crime and you guys are detaining me, there might be some issues here. You might want to call the DA and get this sorted out. Well, gosh, I would recommend it. Go ahead, Mr. Weaver.
Law enforcement can't be trusted. Get back to the video and enjoy.
Okay, you were in our lobby with your contraption, recording device, whatever this may be. It made our dispatchers nervous. You're calling in asking about the container, which narcotics are.
Oh no! The dispatcher got nervous and got in her feelers. Should we have such people in dispatch? It's like I said before, I don't believe we should have any officer any younger than at least a minimum of probably, say, 30 years old. At minimum. And we see so many of them coming in at 20, 21, 22, 23 years old that have no life experience as an adult, are still in their feelers, raised by mamas from broken families or by abusive dads.
Okay, is that a crime?
That made our dispatchers nervous.
Well, is that a crime?
Yeah. Finish talking.
Now I'll let you finish. I'm just asking
No,
you.
you're not. You keep interrupting me.
Well, man, I would like to leave, to be honest.
Yeah, we'd like to know where the crime is. You keep wanting to fucking run your jib without explaining the actual crime. You keep expressing everybody's feelers. And you get all up in your feelers when we get impatient because you're in your feelers wanting to run your mouth and we interrupt you and you cry about us interrupting us. Then get to the goddamn point. Do you know the law or not?
And I interrupt you at all.
As soon as we find out who you are and make sure you're not wanted anywhere, you can leave.
Well, what does that have to do with anything?
We've been requested to check on you,
right?
Which is a call for service.
Well,
we've been requested to check on you, which is a call for service. So what happened is dispatch got in their feelers and dispatched them to interfere. How is dispatch a complainant? Do you guys not see this?
When we do that and we request your identification, you are required to provide us your identification.
You're not suspecting me of a crime.
Yeah, you got to suspect him of a crime. You can't say, well, he was asking questions about drugs and our dispatch got fucking scared. That's not a crime. If it were such a crime, then maybe she should go get some fucking Depends and maybe quit her job and get put in a facility where they can take care of her feelers.
I would like that. You're not suspecting me of a crime, but you're stopping me and asking me for ID. So if the body cam on, I'm gonna just back up to where I can have both of you guys kind of in the scene, just so nothing bad happens. I mean, you guys are armed. I'm not. Hello. Are you the police chief? Yeah. All right. So I was walking to where I was going, and this young man stopped me and detained me. Shortly after that, Sergeant Weaver, I believe, came and detained me, and he raised his voice at me. I have it all recorded. They're trying to ID me. I haven't done anything. They made it clear that I haven't done anything. This young man is confused on if I'm detained or not. So do you know if I'm being detained right now? All right, thanks. So, do you know if I'm being detained right now? All right, thanks. You too.
Imagine that. Imagine that.
hit that like button. Leave me a
Yeah, so imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine that. No, you're free to go. Like I said earlier, it's like the little grunions are a bunch of hyenas, and they will gather around and try to accost you until you can get the big boss there who absolutely knows and will say, oh, no big deal. See ya. It's happening more and more. But again, N. Terry stops. Here's my video. Where? And here's that last one. My apologies, I never sent it. And that is from, oops. Yeah, and that other one still won't play. Let's see here. Nope. Okay. The News Now Omaha. Make sure I got the right link. I'm pretty sure that was the right link. Yep. Okay. So that was the News Now Omaha. N. Terry stops. You still here? David Lee Williams says, sir means you hold an officer's position that is higher than an able-bodied seaman. Huh. Interesting. One of the crew members. All right. Well, and there you have it, folks. A little expose on the First Amendment, and I'll reiterate. And Terry Stop says, hold on. Yeah, sounds if StreamYard, the link is down there if you want to come up and we'll review it. That's fine. But as I've expressed, the First Amendment, freedom of expression and freedom of the press are great rights myself individually as a single man, but it is empowered exponentially by everybody else's right to know. I don't have any motivation to speak out if when I speak out, no one hears it. And that's what they're trying to stop. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. So if they can prevent you from hearing it by censoring us that are speaking it, then that's what they're going to do. That's why it's so important to speak out. Absolutely. Talking about the drug law, it has never been codified or authorized by a constitutional amendment. Drug enforcement remains grounded in federal statutory law and judicial interpretation to the Constitution. And this is why I say, again, the definitions are so important to learn and read and comprehend as it relates to the statutory principles of interpretation. It's justum generis, nascitur a socis, expressio unius est exclusio alterius, and in pari matria, or materia. I am still holding on for that video if you've got it, brother. If not, we're going to close out. Yes, the Plain Language Act, Plain Writing Act and government documents, that's 5 U.S.C. 301 departmental regulations applicable to the Department of Defense, and wherein is the enumeration at birth, minimum birth registration standards that say that that birth is supposed to be registered in the United States, wherein there is no birth registration in the United States. Seems like the plain language fails for an impossibility. Birth certification is false. It's never been registered in the United States. Oops. Unless they've got it in a registration somewhere where we don't know about it. And goodness gracious, would that be that 14th Amendment citizen? They're operating on the other side of the ledger? You know, the creditor. Yeah, the state called it plain talk. It's still plain writing once you put it on paper, right? It's the same thing as concise English. That's what they reverted to in the 70s, was concise English. And concise English is the ability to take a sentence and standardize it in a simpler form so that more people can understand it easier. That's all it is. Yes. Using the judiciary to determine constitutional intent, when the constitutional intent is in plain language, in plain writing. Correct. Some scientific topics don't write well at lower grade levels because they have to use more inclusive language, which means it has to be a little bit more particular, and sometimes you will see ambiguities. All right, well, I don't know what happened to end Terry stops. It says hold on, but that was 5 minutes ago. And I think we've gone long enough for today. So, brother, if you want to do a review on your video, you're welcome to stop in again tomorrow. Tomorrow is what, Friday? No, tomorrow is Thursday. So tomorrow Thursday, 5 p.m., I'll be doing some more videos. Don't know what yet, but feel free to stop up and we'll talk about it tomorrow. In the meantime, you guys know me. I love you. But I don't give a rat's ass whether you love me back. That's to say, I don't care if you hate me. I don't care if you don't respect me. And that's on you. So may God bless you and have a good day. We'll see you next time.